In this tutorial, we will do this section right here. Sorry, the featured product section right here. This one, okay. But before that, you see this black background right here. I don't like it. Besides, in our application, there is no black background. It is just simple icons. So to make it like that, we have to go to the main file and override the default background color that we have. So right here inside the build, we can write this code. I copied it from somewhere. You can reuse this. So we have to import this library, Flutter services. And in this, we have set the status bar icon brightness, meaning the icons that we see here, it needs to be dark, and the status bar color needs to be white. And we can remove this one. If I hit save, now it looks like our design, like this. Okay. Now in the featured product section, we have this part which is completely similar to this part. We have already coded this section. So the question is, how can we reuse this? When you are coding, you have to remember you shouldn't repeat the same code. You need to know how can you reuse the codes, right? So the more you are able to reuse the code, the better. Code repetition is really bad. So how can we use this section and reuse it for this section as well? Let's see how we can do that. Right here, we have the section. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take it to a separate file and make it a separate widget. How can we do that? I have already showed you before. Click on this, the parent child, which is a row for this section, right? So click on the row and then click on this icon, extract widget, give it a name. I will call it section title. You can call it anything you like. Section title. And this is the widget that is created. Let us cut it. And we can put it inside this component folder, but we are not going to do that because this is a section which will be used in many places of the application, not in just home page. So instead of putting this inside the home folder, what we can do, we can create a separate folder inside the views folder and call it widgets. So all the common widgets that will be used in the entire application, we can put that widgets inside this folder. So I will create a file, call it section title .dart and paste the code. Now I have to import material. Also, I have to import the primary color, this const color that we have created for colors. Hit save, and in the home page, link the section title file. Hit save, and nothing should change. Everything is working as just like before. Okay. Now, under this category section, we will have the featured product section. The first part is this section. So if I use section title that I have just created, this file right here. So if I call that widget and hit save, you will see that it is showing categories, right? It is showing the text categories, and that is because inside this section title widget, we have this text. So question is, how can we make this dynamic? And that's exactly what we are going to do right now. But before that, let me put some spacing right here. Okay. Now, if you know about constructor, this will be easier for you to understand. If you don't know, that is also fine. So using constructor, we can pass value from one file to another, or one class to another class. So this part right here, it will change, right? For categories, we will call it categories. For featured product, we will call featured product. So how can we make this section dynamic? For that, we can take a variable right here. Make sure to use the keyword final. So I will call it section name. You can call it anything you like. You can also define the data type. So we will only take string, right? And as soon as I create this, it shows that it must be initialized inside this. So how can we initialize this? We can say this dot section name variable that we created, and we also have to say if it is required or not. Yes, it is required, because every time we use this widget, we'll want a different name. Okay, so let us put required at the beginning and hit save. Now if I go to my home page, you can see this is showing error. That is because it is expecting a value, and that value name is section name, right? So when we are using categories, so we can keep the section name to categories. Like this. And when we want it in featured product, we can call it featured product. I have to remove the const. Sorry, I made a mistake. So I cannot just pass the value. I also have to write the variable name like this. Section name, featured product. And if I hit save, nothing changed. Why is that? Because I forgot to use this variable. So I have to use this variable right here. So the value that I am passing gets right here. So section name. Now it is showing this error again, and that is because we have to remove this const. Hit save, and it is working. So what if I said something else here? See, the value is changing. So I hope you understood this tutorial. I will see you in the next tutorial.